Hi, everyone. Welcome to AllBrands.com. I'm Barbara. I'm so happy that you're here. Let us know where you're watching from. Maybe what are you working on today as far as creativity? And it looks like we have some folks watching already. Welcome, Mary from South Carolina. And Debbie from Portland, Oregon. Hello. It's so good to see you guys. Oh, look. Gwen Cavalier, good to see you today. Carolyn from South Dakota, welcome back. And Ruth from Wisconsin. Oh my gosh. So I'm so excited. For those of you who don't know, we will be giving away a $100 allbrands.com e-gift card at the end of this broadcast. So be sure to like, comment, and share or subscribe to be eligible to win that at the very end. And we'll pick a live winner. We have a very special guest today, Children's Corner Patterns. So let me know if you have ever experienced these amazing patterns. They are based in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a woman-owned and operated business. And we have Emily Douglas, the owner of Children's Corner, joining us today. So we'll bring her in. Emily Douglas, the owner of Children's Corner, joining us today. So we'll bring her in. Emily Douglas. Looks like we're having a little bit of echo on our end. So I'm going to mute you and then I'll let you talk. Okay, great. So just to let you know a little bit about Children's Corner, they started in 1978, where 4 Nashville young women had a vision of sharing their love and experience of sewing with others across the country. The vision became Children's Corner in the 1970s. There were not many options readily available for sewing patterns for children, especially heirloom. Let us know, those of you who have done heirloom sewing, in the comments. So much of the sewing in the southern region of the United States traces its roots to a few early teachers who developed the classic patterns we know and love today. So Emily's been the owner of Children's Corner since 2013. And Emily, can you tell us a little bit about your design team there? And I'm going to mute myself and bring you in. 2013. And Emily, can you tell us a little bit about... Okay, so Emily, what I'm going to have you do is lower the volume on your computer. There you go. And then we'll bring Emily in. On your computer.
Okay.
There you go.
That better?
We'll bring it. Oh, goodness. Oh, sorry, guys. Is there like maybe another computer on in the background, Emily, by chance?
I don't know.
I'm not sure why there was
a computer on.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I think you got to turn that off.
Like maybe another computer on in the background?
I've got my team wants to watch too.
Okay, well, Emily, I'm going to go backstage. I'm going to let you take the floor and show us all of these amazing patterns that you have to offer, okay? Okay, well, Emily, I'm going to go backstage.
Well, we are so glad to be able to do this, and it's so fun. And I appreciate so much the invitation that we can be a part of this. Do you all still hear the echo, or shall I just keep going?
Yeah, Emily, so what's happening is there's a tab open on your computer with this video in it. So just delete all of those tabs except for this one that we're in. And it should stop playing. There's a tab open on your computer with this video in it. There we go. Fixed it. So just delete all of it. Thanks, everybody. Let's go back to the comments and say hey to a few more folks.
Hey, friend. Okay.
Is that good?
Yes, thank you.
We fixed it. It's so funny.
Oh, thanks, guys. It's my first time.
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you. And so is everyone in the comments. So let's go ahead and show them some of the patterns. But before that, can you tell us a little bit more about your company, the design team? What goes into making these amazing patterns?
Yes, sure. We are a company that started in 1978 and right here in Nashville. And it was a group of moms that just saw a need and a desire to take the fashions and fun clothes that they were making for their children and share it to everyone. And so truly, they figured out pretty quickly how to get those patterns into production and printed in a way that they could sell them across the country. And most of them at that time were, of course, sold through small retail shops where you could work with customers and sell fabrics as you were selling the patterns. And, you know, we still very much today are still all women led, many of us mothers and grandmothers that are still start with a passion for sewing for our own little ones. So our design team consists of about 5 of us that we run the gamut from conception to we hand draw or kind of work as we're sewing something on a machine to translating it through an engineer's eyes onto a digital pattern and through, because everything now, we used to literally draw and then print from that drawing. But now it's translated, of course, digitally that is then sent to a printer and printed. I thought I'll just start with this first one to talk about. This is our Bishop pattern. And it is number 3. And what that means is we have more than 300 now in our catalog. Not that many are not still in print, but number 3 means this was one of our very first. And, you know, just to pull out, we still print our patterns on tissue. And we work really hard and spend a lot of real estate on these tissue to not stack our patterns so that each size is on its own. And so as you print a size, you don't have to retrace. You can just print that and lay it right on your fabric and get to work. But our Bishop pattern is a classic Bishop that has smocking. And we love smocking. It's something that I think really sets, it speaks for what our brand is in terms of how classic it is and kind of that heirloom touch. And, you know, we love to add smocking to just about everything. But the Bishop, of course, doesn't exist without smocking. And it's one of those first dresses that when we have classes in our shop here in Nashville, we do teach from this dress because once you learn how to smock, this is a great first step on what your next step would be. But I wanted to show just a couple of samples of this is a Bishop dress. This has an angel sleeve, as we call it, just a flutter sleeve. But of course, for those of you that may or may not be familiar with what a Bishop is, the style originated a long time ago, but really what it means is that they would be smocking all the way around the yoke. And there's a raglan sleeve, but then there's, you know, several rows of smocking. And, you know, you can translate this Bishop into so many different styles. This is a really cute one where you might choose a smocking plate that has picture smocking, is what we call it, when you stack those stitches to make something that looks like a picture. This has a different sleeve style. All of these different pieces are a part of the package. So when you buy the Bishop pattern, you would receive all these different sleeves. This is just a banded puff sleeve that's a little more modern, we like to say, but still that same classic look with the smocking around the yoke. When we with smocking or with sewing this dress, something that we love to say is that not only are we designing patterns, that a part of our patterns, we've got instructions that really have step-by-step you know, instructions on how you sew that, but we also have a lot of video content to help you because we know it's just easier to see somebody sew it. And if you're lucky to be in Nashville and come to a class, we can be with you one-on-one, but we know that's not feasible for a lot of folks. So we have videos specifically for the Bishop, and I think there's a video that we're going to tee up. It's a little we've got a video that walks you through step by step. It's a 2.5 hour long video that it comes to you streamable. You don't download it, so it's not going to take up a lot of space on your computer, but it's a video that once you purchase the video lesson, you have access to that video and can stop and rewind and pause and go back, see the parts that you might need to see over and over again. But if you want to, maybe share the trailer so you can see a little bit of what our videos look like.
Of course, and that's such a valuable resource, Emily. So thank you for providing the videos. Here we go. Oh my goodness, that was so beautiful. I love that pattern and that dress and the smocking. Everyone in the comments is saying how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have any questions before we move on to the next adorable, cute pattern. Susan says better than the VHS ones that she has now.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, we found, I mean, it's been incredible to consider how many more people we're able to reach through our videos now, because, you know, sometimes you see these dresses and you think, oh, I could never do that. And that is not, we want to portray this to be something anybody can do. And smocking is just such an art that we want to carry on for many, many generations. And the Bishop is one of those dresses we feel like everybody should learn how to sew.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, we can talk. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to let everyone know, if you see something that you like, there is a link in the description of this video where you can find all of the children's quartered patterns. And at the top of the page is listed the ones that we're showing in the video today. So take advantage of this little fun buying process of patterns. And thank you, Emily, for coming on with us. So what do we have next?
I thought I'd jump next to, this is our Lucy and our Johnny patterns. And I just want to show the front of the covers because that's what you'll see when you're shopping. But to give you a picture of what they look like in person, it is just a very simple A-line button on the shoulder. That's what the Lucy looks like. And then the Johnny for boys, of course, we've made these for girls too. But it's a romper with shorts. And you can either, you know, put grippers or snaps here or close those legs. And the Johnny comes in a short view or a long view. And these patterns right here are really wonderful patterns that we like to say, if you want to get started sewing children's corner patterns and you really need to start somewhere first, these are patterns that we start all of our basic classes, start them on. In fact, we have a rating system on our patterns by thimble. That's our difficulty explanation. So if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4 thimble, that talks about, you know, if it's an easy pattern or an expert pattern. And both our Lucy and our Johnny, we say are 1 thimble because they are great patterns to start with. You do learn, though, something that we do in all of our patterns. We love things to be lined. So we rarely use facings. Everything is fully lined. We also talk about piping because it just gives such a more beautiful finish to garments, so that, you know, there's corded piping that we'll add to these garments, and that's a big part of this. But you'll see with these two, the reason they are a 1 thimble is they do not have a sleeve or a collar. And that's sort of, if you're just learning, don't tackle that first because you might get discouraged. You know, start with something like this first. Now, as you can see, there is smocking on this Johnny. You don't have to do a smock Johnny. You know, you could just do a regular Johnny. This one has an applique, cute little sailboat, and it's got a matching Lucy for sister. That was a cute sample that we have here in the store. Or you could add a smocked insert like this one. And this is actually a smocking plate that we design. It's called Candyland Express. It's this really cute train. But it's a smocked insert that you can put into the Johnny. So in the pattern, you've got the option to make it smocked or unsmocked. So that's the Johnny and the Lucy.
Those are so really cute, Emily. And also, I was thinking you could even embroider on the front of it before you put the lining in, and that would be such a cute monogram on the front.
Absolutely.
Have you seen anything else besides applique or smocking?
Yeah, honestly, we've seen all kinds of things. We have, in this example, if you see, we also have a blog. It's called thecornerstitch.com, and we see all kinds of ideas that people have done or that we've passed on. And people have either done monograms, changed the yoke so that there's not a regular yoke that's not smocked, has a seam up the middle. But you would change that and redraft that so that it would be more flat to put some applique. For girls, you might add some tucks or some lace trim. So absolutely, we've seen it all.
So we do have a few questions here. Let's just go to Gwen Cavalier at the top. She says, do you sell the smocking plates is her question.
We do sell smocking plates. And when we use that term, for those of you that may or may not be familiar with it, that's the design that tells you how to do the smocking. So yes, we sell pre-pleated insertions. They're on white broadcloth, 60 inches wide. And so you would get your pleated insert, and then you would have the design of this. This one is called Candyland Express. And then you could use your floss and thank you. Yeah. Then you could do the stitching on top. This is what a smocking plate looks like. And if you purchase a plate, you would get this design that shows you how to smock. Yes. So we have a lot of those that we've designed that you'll see with Children's Corner patterns as a part of the name. But there's a lot of still lines that have those designs that we carry as well.
Yes, and we are going to be talking about smocking pleaters at the end of this video, which AllBrands imports 2 brands of. So if you're in the market for a smocking pleater, they are still being made, and you can get them from allbrands.com. So let's see. We did have one question from Marissa. She asks, do you use snaps instead of buttonholes?
You're talking here, I would imagine. We've seen that. Typically, I think from a classic standpoint, we like to see the buttons up here. And some designs that we've seen, particular to this style, they might use one large button. That's certainly a choice that you would make. We like using 2. I think these are half-inch buttons. We feel like the tab lays down better. And a snap, sometimes there's such friction that it takes to pull that apart that's could be a weak point there. Now we do use snaps a lot in when we're putting together, of course, these samples. None of them have it, but we do like to do that in like long pants, because if they go to preschool or church, they might be required to have a diaper change.
Yeah. So Gwen actually said that she's done the Johnny before, and she also said that she's going to go to that blog that you have to get some ideas, because she has 4 grandchildren. Nice. Yeah. Great. So do you want to show the video? Would you like us to show the videos of the Johnny and Lucy?
Sure. I think maybe just choose one of them. But again, this is just an example of it's part of our Learn to Sew sewing series. After we have a different sewing series for each thimble of difficulty. So there's a 1 thimble and a 2 thimble. We haven't released yet 3 and 4, but part of that series, after you sew a 1 thimble, we point you in the direction of some 1 thimble options. And so maybe show the Lucy or the Johnny as an example of where you might go next.
Okay.
Hi, this is Emily, and I'm thrilled to tell you about our Johnny pattern. The Johnny pattern is one of our most classic patterns. It's been a part of the Children's Corner for a long time, and it's easy to see why. It comes with either short pants or long pants, and it's just that quintessential romper that he can wear during all seasons. If you are sewing for a little boy, there is no doubt you will sew Johnny many, many times.
Great. So if you guys see any of these patterns that you like, please be sure to click the link in the description of this video to take advantage of the buy page that we have for all of these specials. All right. So next up is the Lee pattern.
Yes, the Lee pattern, our very classic yoke dress. And both of our samples have smocking because we love smocking so much, but the Lee does not have to be smocked. But it is a yoke dress in the sense that it's got a high yoke here when you've got the smocking and a very traditional puff sleeve. We love to put a white Peter Pan collar on. We think that has such a beautiful classic look. In our Lee pattern, we also have a beautiful sash, which is, you don't see a ton of sashes right now if you were buying things that are manufactured, but for us, it really shows a classic sign and a handmade sign because it's, I don't know, it just looks really classic to have that sash on something. And so that's a Lee. This is actually made out of, if you're familiar with the fabric Liberty of London, which we love to sew with. They're Tana lawn. Liberty fabrics have been around for more than 100 years, and they still come out. The designers still come out of London, and they just have beautiful fabrics. They're pricey, but we love them. And this one is a Liberty. This one is as well. But this one, what makes this one unique, you can't really tell. I'm going to get a little closer. But if you can see from this collar and this sleeve, it's got a little scalloped edge to it. I don't know if we can, maybe if I put a piece of paper underneath it, I might show it a little bit. Barbara, tell me if I'm translating this very well.
This is adorable.
There, can you see that it's got a scallop to it?
Wow.
The collar. So this, that collar is actually a part of a package that you can buy digitally, but it's called our Scallops add-on, and it's a scallops collar and a sleeve that we just offer that fits a lot of our patterns. A lot of our patterns are interchangeable, and so we like for you to be the designer. And if you would like envision something with scallops on it, then we've got that add-on pack that you can grab that collar and sleeve edge and add it to any of the dresses that it'll work with. Not every pattern will it work with, but so that's our Lee dress.
That is absolutely adorable. I love it. I love it so much. And so is everyone in the comments too. Margie Higgins says, I love the scalloped edge.
No, Margie.
All right. So next is the Charlie pattern.
Yep. And Charlie is a brand new pattern. And I'll say, just a little tidbit about COVID. When we were in the early days of everybody being at home, in the early days of the pandemic, it was really hard for us as a design team to find our rhythm and to continue to do our work. Just because we didn't have access to each other, to be in the same room, or to children, because we really like to try our clothes on a lot of children and to do a lot of our testing on actual live moving people. And so things really slowed down from that end. We did, through that time period, though, really discover video. And that's where a lot of our video lessons were birthed out of that time. But Charlie was our first release out once we kind of moved through those days, and it was actually released earlier this year, and we're really proud of it because it was just a time where we brought back a lot of our other patterns or things that had been in our catalog for years that we were able to provide again and bring back to print. But this was a brand new design, and we love it. So it just kind of has a special place in our heart. But it's another romper with a classic collar and sleeve. What's different about it is that it's got a little bit of longer leg. It's not like a bubble, but see how it's gathered with this wide band on it, which really gives it more of that kind of a look that's just so sweet. It is also available in long pants, which will be perfect for the colder months. Made this one with an applique, like you were talking about. That's a machine applique crab, but with long pants. So that, let me show you one more. That was just another cute print with the self collar. So it's made out of the same fabric on the collar, with just a really sweet trim that sets off the collar. But Charlie has been a pattern that it has been flying off our shelves and anybody's shelves that anybody that is enjoying sewing it. We're just hearing so many good things about Charlie, and they're enjoying it so much because it's great because it's for girls or boys, and long and short. So it's really for all seasons. We also just released a quick add-on where you can get the new bodice, and you can learn how it shows you where you can add a pleated insertion, which is another digital product that is an add-on if you had the Charlie pattern and wanted to add some smocking to it. So that's our Charlie.
Emily, that is beautiful. And I got to tell you, I am loving that because I'm actually a twin. I don't know if you knew that, but for any of those folks watching that maybe knows twins in their lives, this would be the perfect pattern for you to make matching outfits. So my mother often dressed my twin brother and I together in coordinating smocked outfits. So it was very similar to what you showed. And we did have a comment earlier from Gwen. Let's see. March. March says she just went to your website and she loves your videos. So thank you for doing the videos on the patterns. Yeah. Gwen says it would be a cute Christmas outfit in long. Very cute.
Absolutely agree. Wouldn't that be darling? And like a plaid with a white collar? I mean, yes. Or a really cozy flannel.
And then let's see, March Higgins says, I'm one of 4 girls and we all got dressed alike. Yes, that was my childhood as well.
All those mothers out there. That's incredible. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, thank you. That one was gorgeous. So what do we have next?
We've got a Franny baby. This is one. If I was talking to our team when we were thinking which patterns to really talk about, and they said, this is one that we see probably more than any others. We have a Facebook group. It's a private group, but would love to have anybody to be a part of it. And it's just where folks share things that they're sewing, or they share things that they've learned. Specific to our patterns, or we call them mashups, how they might take one part of one pattern and put it with another one, and you got a whole creative idea. And there are Franny babies everywhere. And it's just so cute. I mean, this is actually the cover, what the model was wearing on the cover, but it's just a cute kind of diaper shirt, you might call, that has elastic under the arms. And it just has a keyhole opening in the back. So just a very simple design on the top. And then it has some bloomers that are honestly a go-to bloomer if you've got a boy baby or a girl baby. Just very simple elastic at the legs and at the waist. Franny baby. People have Franny baby in there easily. They're early rotation the minute that they start having little children. This starts at a 3-month, which not all of our patterns go that small because they wouldn't be appropriate to go that small. But this is one that certainly would be and is a favorite. And because it's again, Barbara, to your point, that flat front there, you could add embroidery or just about anything because it sort of has this, canvas that you could use.
Beautiful, beautiful. So is the bloomers separate piece or is it connected?
Yeah, it's connected on this. They're separate, but I've got them pinned together for display.
Nice.
But yeah, they're a different pattern piece. And a lot of people will use these bloomers if they just need bloomers for another diaper shirt that they might be making, or even to go up under a bishop that they just want, a diaper cover. It's cute and pretty, or maybe even out of the same fabric, or certainly those that are really doing beautiful heirloom work and might be making a christening gown or something to wear for a special occasion like Easter or a wedding. This is just a really standard piece that people who are sewing for little ones, they love for the baby.
One of our watchers commented that you could put your sports team on the front. Yeah, which would be fun.
Yes. Actually, I am so glad you said that. We love doing that, and coming into football season, for sure. I got another sample that great minds think alike.
And everyone's saying cute, cute, so cute. And then we did have a question from Marge. How large do your patterns go?
It really depends. A lot of our patterns, if some of our dresses that are, one that we're going to talk about is a khaki, is a knit dress. It goes a full range. And when I say our full range, we typically talk about 6 months to size 14. Often that doesn't come in one package because there's not enough space on the tissue to get it all in one package. But when it's for a baby, it's typically 3 months to about 24 months. We did choose to take Charlie up to a size 3, just because it lent itself for a little bit older child. A bubble or our diaper covers like this, as their legs get slender and they get taller, it's just not as cute. So that's why that doesn't go larger. But that's our typical range. Our bishop goes to a size 6. And our the Lee pattern goes to a size 8. So they're kind of all different, but we're really thoughtful when we consider those sizes. It really matters to us to kind of help guide you with what we think makes the most sense and wearability, as well as some decisions in terms of will it fit in the package? Can we fit another size on that tissue? And if we can, we want to do it. But if we can't, that's often why we'll choose the size that we do.
Yeah. Gwen actually had another suggestion, monogrammed bloomers. That sounds really cute.
I love it. Or put some ruffles on the back side. That's really cute.
Very cute. And Nancy says that she wants to start sewing dresses for her grandchildren.
Oh, yes. Come along, Nancy. It's a happy, happy place.
Children's Corner makes excellent patterns. They have been known for making excellent patterns since 1978.
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Okay, so next on the list we have Bunny
Knit. Yes. And this is a sweet little layette that's made from knit. And in our kind of corner of the world, sewing with knits was something that we were all a little shy about. When you sew with knit on a machine, it does different than a cotton woven. And these next 2 patterns I'm going to show you are some knits that once we sort of found and some tools of the trade and jumped in, we have not looked back, because we now, you can see behind me, this is a huge portion of our knit supply here in this retail shop. We love sewing with knits. And this is a baby knit option. It's a nightie that it starts at a preemie size and goes up to 24 month size. I can remember my children being 2 and 3 years old, and this would have been their nightgown. But it's also a really great, this is what we hear from people over and over again of what they make as a baby gift. It is just a simple gown But what makes it so unique and wonderful is this lap over. So there's no fasteners, there's no buttonholes. That's how quick and easy this is to make, and it goes right over baby's head because it can open wide because of this lap over. Something else that we love about the bunny's knit, I don't know if you can tell, this really sweet scalloped edge here. That's all done on a sewing machine. It's just a simple shell edge stitch that our instructions tell you how to make, and it's just what finishes off the hem as well as the neck edge and the arm, and just gives such a sweet finish to it, and also makes it super fast. There's no handwork. You're not having to sew a button or a buttonhole. It's just wonderful. And then, this one, just like our sample, and why the name of it is Bunny, is that we've got a sweet little bunny applique. This bunny applique was actually put on with a machine. That's just a satin stitch. Of course, you can do machine embroidery and do all kinds of things. You could add a monogram. And then we've also seen people do some beautiful hand embroidery. There's just it's just a beautiful little canvas there that you can put all sorts of things. But the bunny knit nightie is something that it is a wonderful thing to have if you're about to have a new baby, or you just need a gift, something, a go-to gift. I can make these from cutting out in under an hour. I mean, they just go together so quickly, and so many sewing projects are not that quick. So that's what the bunny knit nightie is. And I'll also say, so great, one of you said you checked out our blog. Our blog, again, is thecornerstitch.com. On the corner stitch is you'll see under videos that we have a lot of sew-alongs. And that's a term that really birthed out of our time during the pandemic and quarantine. We released a sew-along, or a lesson, a video lesson. This was a sew-along that we gave each week, and we did it for 20 weeks in a row. And it was our way to keep sewing and to connect to our customers. And it really was just such a rich time of community at a time when we were all in our homes. But the Bunny's Knit 90 is one of those, and you can still find all those videos for free on our blog. So on thecornerstitch.com, if you're interested in the bunny's knit, you could get that pattern and then watch Susan, one of our instructors, sew it.
Great. We did have a question from Marge, and that was, do you put a stabilizer on the skin side of the applique?
Yeah, we typically, not this one has just, we like to use, it's called baby interfacing. It's a fusible interfacing. It's more of like a featherweight. So it is a lightweight interfacing. I've done some machine embroidery, and it's even more lightweight than some of those that I've ever used when I've done machine embroidery. But what we use is called baby interfacing.
Very cute. All right. So next is Khaki.
Khaki. And that is named by a special little girl in my life, a good dear one. The other owner of the Children's Corner, her daughter's name is Khaki. Actually, her name is Catherine, but my son, when he was 2, he couldn't say Catherine, so he named her Khaki. So that's how this pattern got its name. And the Khaki pattern, just like many of our patterns, we early on in the history of our company, we named our patterns after children's names. And in most cases, it's an actual person. Which is really sweet. We actually tell some of those stories as well on our blog of where we got a name or why we named it what we did, as a way to honor someone, or, But when somebody said their sports team, this is not my sports team, but it is. I live in Tennessee, and so there's a lot of orange around here. But this is an example of making. I mean, look at this. How cute is that? It makes it look like a cheerleading uniform. But that's the Khaki. It's got a pleated skirt, and there's a few modifications that you have to do that we talk about on the blog. But this is a really cute way to make a knit dress for their favorite team. This is also the Khaki. And it's got, in the khaki pattern, there's a long sleeve that has this really cute little slit here at the end. It's a 3/4. It's not long sleeve. It's a 3/4 length sleeve. Or it can be sleeveless. We also have a knit pattern called the Nora. And the Nora has a short sleeve or a true long sleeve. And it's got a circle skirt. And all of those pieces and parts with khaki and Nora, those are great knit patterns to have both of those, because then you can take the pieces and parts and really dream up anything that you want to make that's knit. So we really, it was funny. We didn't have many knit patterns in our catalog. And when we kept seeing a lot of knit out there, that you could buy off the rack, we said, we got to learn how to sew on knit. And it is now, we love it. And there's so many beautiful knits to choose from. So that's the khaki pattern.
Oh my goodness. So someone was asking in the comments, where do they buy these? So these are in the description of this video, the link. You can find all of the patterns and more for what we're showing today. So thank you. All right. So these have all been gorgeous, and there's even a few more to go. So
yeah, we've got time. I mean, I'll just quickly talk about Ruthie. Ruthie is this is an example of a pattern. It buttons up the front, has a high yoke or a slightly lower yoke. This is an example. I like to tell this one because Ruthie is a pattern that was first designed 20 years ago. And it sold for a good time, and then it just sort of stopped selling, and it was no longer a pattern that we had in print. And we heard from many of our customers how much they missed Ruthie and wanted Ruthie back. And so we recently, it was just released 2 weeks ago, but we brought Ruthie back, and it's just that classic pattern that has been in our line but hasn't been in print for, I'm not even sure how long it's been out of print, but there are times to time that we're able to bring back those old classics, and Ruthie's a great example of that. So I want to go ahead and jump to Robert just to talk about another boy pattern. This is a pattern that has shorts or long pants. And what's great about Robert is that it's a flat front, and it has a pocket, which those pants didn't have a pocket. They opted not to put them. But it's got this great little pocket. And when my son, I mean, from age 2 to 6, I would make him, I don't know, 10 shorts for the summer and 10 pants for the winter. And that's just what he lived in. And they're kind of a slim fit, so they looked the part. And it's named for my son, Robert. So I really love this pattern. And the shirt has a short sleeve version or a long sleeve, and it's got this great collar that just looks, you can certainly button it if you needed to, but it's made to be more open, which really just kind of gives more of a casual look, but still that maybe makes him feel a little bit more like a big boy, but he still looks like classic and kind of small. So the Robert pattern is really a great pattern as they age, and maybe don't need to be in a Peter Pan collar. It's a really great option. But those shorts and those pants, they're just something that you would just make over and over and again.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. So maybe so that folks can see this close up, Jordan, do you think you can do a screen share and pull up that Robert pattern so that everyone can see that a little closer? Because that one is so cute, and I agree, pockets are so nice to have. So do you think, like, for small children, even so, like, pockets are good?
My daughter used to call them patettes. And she wanted a patette in everything. I mean, a lot of times we'll just put it on a dress, but they just won't put their little treasure. So yes, I think pockets are very special, even for little ones.
Yeah. So we're just gonna show you guys real quick on screen the Robert pattern. So cute with those pants, shorts, and shirt. And does the dog come with it? Because it just completes the picture.
I'm telling you, Listen, that dog was better behaved than those boys were in that photo shoot. So, yeah.
I got to tell you, whenever I was little, I had to be the model for the fashion shows too. So I totally
you know all
agree.
about it.
Yes. But I appreciate all of the artistry that goes into creating these beautiful heirloom garments, because it's just, to see and feel and wear one is just a beautiful thing. So we have one more pattern, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some pleaters. Jamie.
Yes. So Jamie is a baby bubble, and this pattern has been in our line for a long, long time. It's one of our very best. I think part of the reason is it is jam packed with this many different views to make a bubble truly for a boy or a girl. This is a boy version that just has very simple smocking and a Peter Pan collar and straight sleeve. But as you can see, different from the Charlie pattern, it is more of a bubble than a romper because it has this elastic at the legs. And that's what makes a bubble and a romper. If it's got longer legs, we call it a romper. This is really the same view, but made for a girl, just, with different fabric. This smocking plate, we've talked a little bit about this. This is another one of our designs. It's called the Apple Blossom smocking plate. And then you might recognize how this yoke looks. It looks like a bishop because it's a bishop style, but it's made as a bubble. So the Jamie truly has, there's also a view that has pleats, which is just really spectacular on baby boys. So that the Jamie truly has so many different options. Talking about photo shoot, when we tried to get these three babies to do anything together, it was mayhem.
Emily, that is so cute. I loved the first one, the white one. Can we talk about the sleeve on that? Because I would love to see that detail up close.
Yeah.
That is just absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So it's, it's just got a little bit of piping on this cuff sleeve that is mimicked here at the collar.
My goodness.
And when you sew these garments, it's just so wonderful that you get to make these decisions to add these special touches that are just, you can't buy that already made. And I mean, that's just what we love about how individual, we like to say things are handmade, not homemade. And it takes obviously lots of hours and love, but it's so special.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, what kind of sewing machines do you guys use over there to sew these together?
We have Berninas at our shop. One of our original or the original pattern designer, Lizette Thomason, was a Bernina educator. And so that's what our classroom has.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. I've always known heirloom sewers to gravitate towards Bernina machines. So it's beautiful. Yeah. Very beautiful. Okay, so don't forget, everyone, that our $100 giveaway is coming up in just a few minutes. So be sure to like, comment, and share or subscribe, and let us know what you think of these patterns and who you would like to sew them for. So I wanted to talk a little bit about pleaters. They're a little bit hard to find these days. There's only 2 manufacturers currently of pleaters. There used to be more, but AllBrands imports those 2 pleaters. So we have 2 available. And let's bring up the Princess pleater first. This one is actually made in the UK. And this is what you use to make those beautiful pleated front designs on the garments that Emily was showing. And it's just an amazing pleater. It includes a bonus 5 DVD video set, which is very helpful. So this is an amazing pleater to have. We do have plenty of these in stock. And to see the price and availability on that, just click the link, because I'm not sure how much longer you guys are going to be watching this video, because it will be online. So I have some news about reed pleater. So reed pleaters are made in South Africa. We import them from the family that makes those. So they're actually going to be, at the end of August, they're going to have only one pleater available. We currently have more than one reed pleater now, but they're going down to one. And it will be a 24-row maxi with 47 half spaces and 24 needles. But now you can purchase it where it has the all of the half spaces and all of the needles. So just something to look out for there. If you're wanting to get one of these reed pleaters in a different size, now's the time, because it will only be the 24 rows in the future. So take advantage of that. Let us know in the comments, guys, if you have any questions. Let's see if we have any so far.
And those pleaters, Barbara, I have to say, I mean, we have people asking all the time about where to find a pleater, and I mean, they are hard to find. So that is wonderful that you all are continuing to find resources for that and keep them in the market, because that the technology hasn't changed much over the years with those. And so if you have one, I mean, you don't need a lot of bells and whistles on these, but you're not going to find them. We don't know where to find them other than you all. So we're really grateful for that.
Okay, here's one from Mary. She says, do the patterns allow sewing without the smocking?
Yes, most of them do. The Bishop is an example that does not have that. What we'd like to mark very clearly, I'll show you on our Lee pattern. You remember I talked to you about the difficulty ratings, that we use this cute little thimble to say that. You'll see that there's one view A that is expert and one that is moderate, and that's just showing the difference that one can be smocked and one can be unsmocked. So yes, most of them, if it's at all feasible to make it unsmocked, we will show both versions.
Okay, so let's go and check to see if we have any more questions. We're getting a lot of love. So Esther says, love my pleater. Let's see. Susan says, adorable patterns for children.
Thank you.
And let's see, not many questions. Oh, here's one. And I was wondering this too. Did you make your outfit?
No, we don't sew much for ourselves around here. We're not as cute as children are.
It's a lot easier to sew for kids, I gotta say.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to pick a winner for the $100 AllBrands.com e-gift card. Maybe you can buy so many children's quarter patterns with a $100 AllBrands.com e-gift card. So let's have a drum roll, please. And the winner is Mimor Kaisvetter. I hope I said that correctly. And you love using children's corner patterns. The videos are very helpful.
Oh, great.
Congratulations, Mim. Please email me at events@allbrands.com to claim your prize. And I will get that sent over to you right away. Congratulations.
Yes, that's exciting.
So, Emily, what's next for Children's Corner? What do you have in the pipeline? What do we have to look forward to besides all these amazing videos and blogs that you've done throughout the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to continue doing more of the same. And we've got patterns already in our pipeline. We've got 4 that we're working on right now interchangeably. We're really excited about a pleated version that's coming. And you can also, as you follow us or get involved with it, we also have a new program where we're calling for testers and asking for our customers to help us. That's not something that we've done widely, but that's a program that we are expanding, because we really love seeing that and getting the help from our customers as we test new patterns. But We've really loved teaching by video and being able to reach people that can't get to Nashville. I mean, we hear folks all the time that are international or from all corners of our country. And we are so glad that through video, we're able to connect. So we're going to be doing much more of that. So you can count on that from us as well.
Thank you so much. And thank you for continuing the long line of Children's Corner patterns that's been known for so many years to be wonderful patterns. So with that said and done, we really appreciate you, Emily, for coming on the show. We hope to have you again soon. And thank you so much.
This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it and enjoyed meeting all of you virtually, and hope to see you out there on the socials.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.